Boruto. I like my games home and a home console as well as portable. And Nintendo Switch reference, boy. Alright, let's talk about Boruto. I finally watched all 94 episodes. I originally caught up and it was around 50 some episodes, then I just got lost. But now I caught up again, 94 episodes. And we have to get down to the main point with Boruto, what people bitch about, which is Boruto doesn't have any problems. There's nothing going on. Everything is safe and blah blah blah. Shut up, you whiny bitches. Does everything always have to be in fucking chaos for you to find the show interesting? Huh? Does it have to be a fucking war going on and some evil dictator prick trying to kill everyone and take over the world all the fucking time for you to find the show interesting? Shit. Shit, you guys must love the last Yu-Gi-Oh then because there's conflict there. But I guess this is why everyone hated Yu-Gi-Oh! GX because, oh, there's no conflict. They're just in a school learning card games. Which, I gotta admit, that's pretty stupid. But seriously. Come on now. We watch anime because it's anime. We don't watch anime because it's a stupid ass conflict. But Naruto, the whole thing about the, during a time of war and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. I haven't just defined the time as watching Boruto than I am Naruto. Now, I originally watched Naruto when it was in Tsunami. And I watched the whole tournament exam and all that shit. And then Tsunami died. And when Tsunami died, I lost track with all my anime. I lost track with Naruto, Zatch Bell, don't judge me. Whatever else was showing on Tsunami at the time, including One Piece, which One Piece is getting ridiculous. That fucking animals being on the team and everything. Like, come on. But anyway, Naruto, I lost track of Naruto. Because Naruto went to Shippuden, and then Sasuke turned into a freaking emo fag who hated everyone and wanted to kill everyone, and Naruto kept believing in him, and that was a pain in the ass. Just hearing about that story, as my brother told me about it, as the series went on, I was like, yeah, I don't feel like watching that crap. Whatever, when Boruto came out, I was like, you know what, let me give this show a shot. Since I missed pretty much almost all Naruto, let me go and watch Boruto from the beginning. Because nobody, and even my brother watches Boruto. Because they're too into Naruto. They're like, oh, it's not the same, blah, 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 the same shit everyone says. So, I gave Boruto a shot. And you know what? I like it. The whole thing about Boruto was that his dad is pays too much cares too much about his job as an Hokage and takes more responsibility in that than his own family. Pretty much, he's abandoning his own family and sacrificing his own family to be an Hokage. Not being there for his kids, not being there for his wife, just being there for as Hokage. That's more important to him than his own family, apparently. And that's the whole conflict. That's why Boruto hates his guts. That's why Boruto doesn't even want to become an Hokage. In this series, Sarada wants to become an Hokage. And she probably wanted to become an Hokage, but Boruto doesn't. Boruto says because of what he sees his dad doing, abandoning his family just to become Hokage, he's like, I will never want to become Hokage, ever. And that's funny because in Naruto, if you ever watched Naruto, you know the only thing that kid ever wanted to become since the first episode was Hokage. And they promoted that shit the whole series until it finally happened, I guess, at the end. Well, it didn't happen at the end. It happened, in Boruto. But yeah. So, the whole thing is interesting. Sarada wants to become Hokage. Boruto doesn't give a shit. And, the conflict with him and his dad never being there, taking him, putting his importance as Hokage over his family. And that pissing Boruto off. That's an interesting story. I like that story. And then, the show started off. Luckily, I watched the movie before I watched the show. Thank God it doesn't do a Dragon Ball fucking Super and have like the first 30 episodes of two movies. Boruto doesn't go into that movie arc until like the 50th episode or something like that, around there. The beginning is Boruto trying to. First of all, the beginning is Boruto, much older Boruto with a samurai sword and an eye that looks like he got cut, and him showing his Shogun. That's what it's called. I forgot what that shit was called. Shogun. That shit for his eye that his mom has, and then his little sister has, and then the funny thing is that in the later episodes he has it, and he only does it like sparingly. And he tried telling his family about it. His family doesn't believe him. They're like, yeah, we don't believe you. We don't believe it happened with you. They think he's just trying to get attention. So of course he gets pissed at them for not believing him and all this shit and everything. So that's a whole arc in itself. One of the first arcs, besides them trying to become Shinon, I think that's what it's called, right? Shinobi? Shonen, I don't fucking know. I know there's a whole couple names for it, or whatever the fuck people pronounce it differently. But Boruto wants to become like Sasuke, a freaking shinobi who does his own thing rather than becoming a Jonin or whatever the fuck. Because all you do is just basically follow Okage's orders. And he doesn't like his fucking father and like being Okage. I mean, he likes his father, but he doesn't like the Okage shit that comes with it. And then one of the first arcs in the series is one of the girls in the school actually becoming actually trying to follow in the father's footsteps to destroy the Leaf Village or whatever, and uses like one of those this big ass wolf or something like that to fucking explode by using chakra and building it up in one area. And like pretty much Boruto is just like Naruto 2.0. He's all about friends and he believes in his friends. And no matter what happens, no matter how much, even if the friends, go the wrong way and betray them or some shit, he'll still believe in them and still give them a chance, still welcome them with open arms. That always happens. Even towards the last arc that I saw, the Mitsuki one where he disappears and goes with these other people who also are not really human. They were created because Mitsuki stories that he was created by that snake guy. I forgot his fucking name. Orochimaru. Trying to remember all these fucking Japanese names are giving me a headache. Yeah, but Orochimaru. He was created in a factory. He was created by him, pretty much. There's a whole bunch of other Mitsukis, but Mitsuki seems to be something special. Like, perhaps his greatest creation because he already becomes sage, as you can see in the fucking gifts. He can already become sage at that young an age. And he was created, so he's confused. He doesn't really have a parent. He has a Orochimaru, but he doesn't really have like a family. He wasn't born like everyone else. With a mom and dad. He doesn't know if he has free will or not, or if he's created to obey, and all this shit. So he goes off with these other created fucking fucks in the land of Earth, one of the villages. I think the Earth Village or whatever the fuck. And his old man, his grandson died because he told his grandson to never give up and never like run away. So the kid tried handling a battle by himself with these robbers and he ended up getting killed. So he feels responsible. He's like, I need to create these, creatures to help fill in for the next generation because they're not ready. They're weak. And of course, that backfires because the creatures he created, you think they're just like pretty much mindless like zombies who just listen to what you say. But they end up having free will just like Mitsuki is and whatever. So that's his own arc in itself. That's the end one. Fucking Mitsuki actually fucking electrocutes does a lightning attack on Boruto and then he doesn't kill him, but he hurt him pretty bad. You know what does Boruto do? Let me go try to save him again. Boruto doesn't even feel like pissed off. Like, here I am trying to save you, trying to bring you back because I think these guys stole you. And he went through all this trouble, Boruto. He went to Orochimaru and then he went into this cave where they're trying to eat his soul. And he had to figure out a puzzle because if he didn't, he would get eaten. And then he had to fight this giant evil snake that hates humans because he was betrayed by a human by himself. And he damn near gets killed by the snake before convincing the snake to go with him. That once you see Mitsuki join me, you'll see that, we're friends, or blah, blah, blah. Then when he goes to save Mitsuki fucking slaps the headband. He tries to give him shoots a big-ass electricity attack, lightning attack, and just fucking damn near sends him unconscious in a coma. And what does Boruto do? I need to save him again. He doesn't even get pissed off that he hurt him. Ridiculous. And Mitsuki's probably my favorite character because he's the most mysterious. He's pretty cool. But Boruto is he's such a Naruto-esque character for real. I always believe in my friends no matter what. Chocho is an annoying-ass character. She's pretty much the daughter of the fat character from the last Naruto series. And she is a stereotypical fat fuck as you can get. Every chance she gets, she's eating a bag of chips. It's ridiculous. It's like if I fucking went out and just freaking was eating a bag of chips all the fucking time with other people. Like trying to convince everyone, hey, I am the fat person of this group. Alright? I eat chips, I eat stuff for no goddamn reason. I'm always hungry. If we have to go run somewhere, I'm gonna complain about how tired I am. Just a typical fucking fat character stuff. It's annoying. Like, you can be a fat character and not be a stereotype. Why don't you also have a gay character with his wrist bent over, sounding like a fag? Why don't you? Because God forbid you can't be gay without going with the gimmick. You can't be fat while being a gimmick either. Whatever. Whatever. JoJo's stereotypical fat character. Who else? We have the son of the. I'm telling you, I'm bad with names, man. I have to literally keep pausing the video to keep freaking looking up these names because, motherfucker, Shikari, the guy who does the freaking, he throws a shadow at you and then he keeps you still. The son of that kid, and he does the same exact thing. And trying to think of the other arcs that happened besides the main movie one where he pretty much just kills. He cheats. This professor tells him, "Hey, I have this experiment where you can pretty much put this thing on your wrist and you can just shoot out any move without you having to learn it." And of course, Naruto doesn't like that, and Boruto ends up taking the thing and using it in the tournament to win. But then at the end, after he wins the whole tournament and beats Gaara, one of Gaara's 3 sons. Apparently, Gaara has 3 kids. And he has one of his kids that uses sand too, but he uses like dirt sand or some shit, like dirt. Or brown, like I don't know, some weird shit. And it's like he's very strong, but Boruto's able to beat him because he cheated and used the move. Naruto freaking disqualifies him at the end, but that turns into a whole arc where these guys in white that literally look all white try to attack Naruto, and then that's a whole arc in itself. If you ever watched the movie, and they go into this next dimension to kidnap Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and a couple others go in to try to save him. They're able to save him and all this shit. But Metal Lee is Rock Lee's son. He's one of the names I actually remember. And his gimmick is that he's shy. He's a good fighter, but anytime he's in a space where there's a lot of people looking at him, he gets anxiety. He has an anxiety attack and he can't fucking focus. That's his whole gimmick. That whole arc on that where his dad tried to make him get over it, and he pretty much just embraced it and tried to fight. But it's basically his gimmick. And, that's gonna be his gimmick for a minute, I guess. There's the son of the guy who does the paint stuff, and there's a guy in the beginning of the series. There's a guy who he's the character known as the guy who failed a bunch of times and he's older than everybody. He uses rock moves. He has a stick and he stab it into the ground and a piece of rock will go on it and then that's how he fights. He's a pretty cool character. He's probably one of my favorites, but he doesn't get used enough. Because the only team we're gonna see used more often is Team 7, which is Boruto's group and Mitsuki and Sarada. And then the next group we're gonna see to get used the most besides them is pretty much Chojo's group, the fat girl, the painter, and the son of the guy who uses the shadow stuff. And those are pretty much the main groups we're going to see. Everyone else is kind of secondary. In the beginning, the Earth guy and this little nerdy kid in blue was their own group too, but I haven't seen it get used lately. And for Boruto, that's pretty much it. Everyone's problem is that it's in peace and there's not enough conflict with in the show, but I don't give a shit about that. There's enough things that they do, they add conflict in between the piece that matters enough and has its own arc and plays out and matters, and it gets dealt with. I know there's another arc where they're going on a trip, and then these punk kids from this I think it's called the Blood Village or something like that. The village used to be known as Bloodshed Village or something, where they were always try to kill and shit. That whole arc was weird because there was the son of someone. I think the son of maybe one of the bosses or one of the main villains in Naruto, where he has this instinct in him that every time he cuts someone or something, he feels the need to want to kill more, like a shark who smells blood and wants to kill more and all this stuff. And he ended up joining this renegade group in his village that wanted to take over and make the village go back to what it was when it was known as the group of blood and all this stuff, and now the place is at peace. And Boruto and his group has to fight them off, and that's his own arc. And even the Hokage of their village, even though it's not called Hokage, it's called something else. I think every village has its own name for it. He freaking is able to help fight him off, and at first it looked like he's getting his ass whipped, but he's able to fight through it, and like he was getting stabbed and he went right through the getting hit. Because he said like his thing was that he could take getting cut or whatever, and those kids are afraid of getting cut, and he just goes and whips them, and Boruto's able to actually fend off the main guy. But I'm not here to explain the whole series in detail. My whole thing is to tell you that Boruto is a great show. It's one of my favorite animes right now, and I'm caught up with all 94 episodes. Right now, we're in filler mode in Boruto, but I can't wait till like it gets until we get to that part in the beginning where Boruto was a lot older and he had like the eye cut and he had a sword or whatever putting on his headband. I can't wait till we get to that part. Right now, we're still in the Boruto kid stage, but once we get to that part, I can't wait. That's when the show is really gonna get interesting, and all this bullshit about Boruto's all about peace and it's boring, there's nothing going on. All that show finally gets shut the fuck up already. But I love the show, man. I enjoyed it a lot, and I just really like it. I recommend it to any anime fan. There's attack mode switching back to defense mode, and I am out this mother.